Then Imam Abu Barbahari rahimahullah, he carried on with this point, and he said what occurs here on page 229: وَإِذَا رَأَيْتَ الرَّجُلَ مُجْتَهِدًا فِي الْعِبَادَةِ مُتَقَشِّفًا مُحْتَرِقًا بِالْعِبَادَةِ صَاحِبَ هَوَى فَلَا تَجْلِسْ مَعَهُ وَلَا تَسْمَعْ كَلَامَهُ وَلَا تَمْشِ مَعَهُ فِي طَرِيقٍ فَإِنِّي لَا آمَنُ أَن تَسْتَحْلِيَ طَرِيقَهُ فَتَهْلَكَ مَعَهُ. He said, and if you see a man striving hard upon worship, upon ibadah, living a life of abstention from all worldly comforts, consuming himself with worship, but he is a person of the innovated sects, then do not sit with him, and do not listen to his speech, and do not walk with him upon any path. For I do not feel secure that you will not eventually come to regard his way as something pleasing, and thus go to destruction along with him. Shaykh Fawzan, hafidhullah, he said, he's saying, وَإِذَا رَأَيْتَ الرَّجُلَ مُجْتَهِدًا فِي الْعِبَادَةِ مُتَقَشِّفًا مُحْتَرِقًا بِالْعِبَادَةِ صَاحِبَ هَوَى فَلَا تَجْلِسْ مَعَهُ وَلَا تَسْمَعْ كَلَامَهُ. And if you see a man striving hard upon ibadah, striving hard upon worship, mutaqashifan, living the life of a person keeping away from the luxuries of this world, ascetic life, consuming himself, wasting himself away through worship, but he is a sahibu hawa, is a person of desires, meaning a person of the innovated sects, then do not sit with him and do not listen to his speech. Shaykh Fawzan said, hafidhullah, so do not be deceived by the fact that the mubtadi', the innovator, manifests pious practices and worship and zuhud, abstention from unnecessary things of this world, and a life of abstention, and prays during the night, prays the night prayer during the night, as long as he has hawa, innovated desires, he's upon one of the innovated sects, and innovation, then do not be lax concerning him. Don't be easygoing concerning him. Keep away from him totally. As one of the Salaf said, اقتصاد في سنة خير من اجتهاد في بدعة. That he said, acting moderately upon a sunnah is better than striving hard upon an innovation. And in the footnote they mentioned, this is reported by Tabarani in Al-Mu'jam al-Kabir, and Muhammad ibn Nasr al-Marwazi, meaning in his book Kitab al-Sunnah, and Ibn Battah in Al-Ibana, from Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu anhu, as his statement. It's a statement to the companion Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu anhu. That be acting moderately upon the sunnah is better than striving hard upon innovation. And he said, he's saying, وَلَا تَمْشِ مَعَهُ فِي طَرِيقٍ, and do not walk with him upon any path. Shaykh Fawzan said, this is attached to what preceded with regard to the warning against accompanying the innovators and sitting with the innovators. And the Messenger warned against this, saying, إِيَّاكُمْ وَمُحْدَثَاتِ الْأُمُورِ. Allah's Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, إِيَّاكُمْ وَمُحْدَثَاتِ الْأُمُورِ, and beware of newly introduced affairs. In the footnote they mention that verification of this, or researching of this, has preceded. As we had a number of times before, this is a famous hadith of Al-Irbad ibn Sariyah radiyallahu anhu, reported by Ahmad, Abu Dawud, At-Tirmidhi, Ibn Majah and others, and declared Sahih by Shaykh al-Albani, the famous hadith with regard to innovations. So Allah's Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, إِيَّاكُمْ وَمُحْدَثَاتِ الْأُمُورِ, beware of newly introduced affairs. Shaykh Fawzan said, إِيَّاكُمْ, this is a warning, this is a tahdhir, this is a warning. And he said, شَرُّ الْأُمُورِ مُحْدَثَاتُهَا, the worst of affairs, the most evil of affairs are the newly introduced ones. In the footnote they mention, checking this proceeding, it's the same hadith, part of the same hadith about Al-Irbad ibn Sariyah radiyallahu anhu. شَرُّ الْأُمُورِ مُحْدَثَاتُهَا, the worst, the most evil of affairs are those that are newly introduced. Shaykh Fawzan said, so al-bid'ah, innovation, شَرٌّ مِنَ الْمَعْصِيَةِ, innovation is worse, is more evil than sin. And the innovator is worse, is more evil than the sinner. So therefore it is obligatory that we are aware of this matter, that we yutanabbah, that we pay attention to this matter, we are aware of this matter. وَلَا تَمْشِ مَعَهُ فِي طَرِيقٍ, and do not walk along with him upon any path. Shaykh Fawzan said, because he will have an effect upon you. And he will enter the innovation upon you, especially when you have good thoughts concerning him, because of what appears from him with regard to worship and taqashuf, living a life of abstention and zuhud. So his innovation will pass on to you. So it is very dangerous. Just as the Prophet ﷺ gave the example of a righteous sitting companion as being like the seller of musk, perfume. Either he will give you some of his musk, or you can buy some of it from him, or at least you will obtain from him a pleasant smell for as long as you are sitting with him. So even if you don't acquire anything, neither by him giving you a gift nor by his selling it to you, then at least you will have a pleasant smell, you will receive a pleasant smell of the musk whilst you are sitting with him. But as for the evil sitting companion, then he will be like nafikhil kir, he will be like the blower of bellows, the blacksmith. Either he will burn your clothing, or at the very least you will smell an evil odour from him. In the footnotes they mentioned this hadith is reported by Al-Bukhari in his Sahih, and it should be hadith 2101, and reported by Muslim as hadith 2628 from Abu Musa al-Ash'ari radiyallahu anhu, who said, Allah's Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, the example of the righteous sitting companion and the evil sitting companion is the example of the seller of musk and the blacksmith with the bellows. So he, in the first of these, the seller of musk, you will not miss out. Either you can buy it from him, to the end of the hadith. Similar to what Shaykh Fawzan mentioned, hafidhahullah. Then Shaykh Fawzan said, and this fully applies, I've mentioned the principle of the righteous sitting companion and the evil sitting companion. He said, and this fully applies, this principle, meaning with regard to evil sitting companions, with regard to sitting with the people of innovation. He said, and this fully applies to jama'at al-tabligh, tablighi jama'ah, those whom many people have been deceived by today because of because of their looking at what is apparent from them with regard to worship and with regard to causing the sinners to repent, as they say, and the strong effect that they have upon those who accompany them. The Shaykh said, however, they bring out the sinners out from sin and enter them into bid'ah and enter them into innovation. The Shaykh makes it clear what the Jama'at al-Tabligh, what they do, they take out sinners from sin and put them into bid'ah, innovation. وَالْبِدْعَةُ شَرٌّ مِّنَ الْمَعْصِيَةِ, and innovation is more evil than the sin. And the sinner from the people of the Sunnah is better than the worshipper from the people of innovations. So one must be attentive to this. And I do not say this out of dislike for the good which is with them, if they actually have any good with them. But rather I have said it out of hatred for innovation. Because innovation removes what is good. And the bid'ah, the innovations that are with Jama'at al-Tabligh, Tablighi Jama'ah, they have been mentioned by those who have accompanied them and then repented from accompanying them. And many books have been written warning against them and explaining their innovations. Then the Shaykh makes a point. He said, and Shaykh Muhammad ibn Ibrahim, when referring to the former Mufti of Saudi Arabia, rahimahullah, Shaykh Muhammad ibn Ibrahim, he said, Shaykh Muhammad ibn Ibrahim, the fact that he used to make concession for some of them to give da'wah in the kingdom to begin with was because their affair had not become clear to him. But then he gave a hard-hitting refutation of them when their affair became clear to him, as occurs in the Majmu' of his Fatawa. In the footnote they give you a reference for that, refer to Majmu' Fatawa by Shaykh Muhammad ibn Ibrahim, volume 1, page 227. Then Shaykh Fawzan said, and he made a condition upon them that they should give da'wah to Tawheed, but they did not fulfill this condition. And he said, and likewise Shaykh Ibn Baz spoke words in favour of them at the beginning of the affair, because their affair had not become clear to him. So when it became clear to him, when their affair became clear to him, he turned back from that, he returned from that, and he said, لا يخرج معهم إلا من يريد أن يدعوهم إلى الحق والتوحيد وينكر ما هم عليه من المخالفة. Shaykh Ibn Baz rahimahullah, he then said, when their affair became clear to him, no one should go out along with them except one who intends to call them to the truth and to Tawheed, and one who can criticize what they are upon with regard to acts which are contrary to correctness. I give the reference in the footnote, Majmu' Fatawa wa Maqalat Mutawwi'a li Shaykh Abdul Aziz bin Baz, volume 8, page 296. Then Shaykh Fawzan said, this is what he, rahimahullah, said. Along with the fact that a person of innovation does not accept da'wah. A person who is upon innovation, he doesn't accept you giving him da'wah away from it. A person of innovation does not accept da'wah. And likewise the person who is upon a manhaj, a methodology, he will not turn away from it, he will not turn back from it, from his methodology, upon which he has given a pledge to his shaykhs. And he said, his saying, فَإِنِّي لَا آمَنُ أن تستحلي طريقه فتهلك معه. For I do not feel safe, I do not feel secure that you will not come to find his way to be pleasing and thus go to destruction along with him. Shaykh Fawzan said, this will be the result if you walk along with him. If you walk along with a person of innovation and go along with him, this will be the result. If you walk along with him and if you sit with him and his condition starts to appeal to you, then his innovation will pass on to you, so that you find it to be something pleasing and you become an innovator. So the danger from innovation is the danger from the innovators is severe, and how many there are of them in this time. However, it is obligatory that we are aware of what innovation, bid'ah, is, because some people say everything is innovation. Everything. Everybody has innovation. So Shaykh Fawzan said, so innovation, bid'ah, has regulating principles. I mean, there are principles to show us what is innovation, what is not innovation. Al-bid'atu laha dawabit. The innovation has principles. So when it is confirmed that what he is upon is bid'ah, is innovation, then do not sit with him and do not accompany him.